So, you are here to get some practice tips, and before I do that, I just want to say that if I were you, I would not play this. Like, you're gonna need some real patience and some real, like, strong mental to be able to beat this and get through it without going completely insane. Yeah, I've warned ya, so it's at your own risk. So you come in here, you just fall down and hold, and then do these timings. And then here, once you're at the middle of this platform here, before the spike, you can just like go down and then just mash the button. You can also, what you can do is you can hit this jump ring in the middle and then mash from there, like, because it will usually take you right about in the middle of this platform. But yeah, if you get the timing right, you can just pretty much mash the button. Yeah, and just press the button like with a lot of space in between there. And then this part here is just like you hold down the button when you come under here, and then just hold it for a split second more, and then you'll fall down here. But you can also just fly if you want to, but I would recommend that you do it this way, not that way, but that way, and then just straight fly here. And one thing I want to mention is make sure that you land on the bottom here, because if you don't land on here, then you'll come down here earlier, and so you'll have to wait longer. So it makes this more consistent coming into here, because you gotta press the button really fast when you fall. If you just land here, because then you only have to wait a split second. Or I guess you can actually just hold down the button. Makes it a little more consistent to get into here. And yeah, just jump where I jump basically. It's not that hard. And then this UFO part, there's multiple ways to do it. I've seen a lot of different ways, but the way I do it is I go once, wait, 1, 2, 1, 2. I go once, wait, 1, 2, and wait again, and 1, 2. Like that. You can also do it like that if you want to, but I find my way more consistent. And yeah, so this part here, like, you have to hit these jump rings as fast as you can, or else you'll die. But the thing I want to mention is that, like, it would be logical that the earlier you are on the platform, the more time you will have. But if you actually go too early here, then no matter how fast you hit these jump rings, you will die. Don't ask why, it doesn't make sense. But if you go too late, you will also die. So you have to hit like about right in the middle to be able to do it. Yeah, this part is just really annoying. Like the jump rings are placed so awkward, and you gotta hit them so fast. It's really fucking annoying. And then this is just memorization. Nothing to say there. Then this ship is not that bad once you get used to all the portals and how they're placed. And then another memorization part, which is pretty much the same as before, just upside down now. Although it's easier to come out of it. And here, like, once my cube is at this spike here, I jump, because I can't see the throw spike, so that helps me time it. And this ball here, this is not that bad, but this one is, because it's a vertical gap you have to go into. The way I like to do these timings are, I look at the gap I have to go into. It might seem a little bit uncomfortable at first to do that, but it really works. Like, for me it does, at least. I don't know if it will work to you, but like, focus on the gap and still like pay attention to the ball, where it is, of course, but focus on the gap you have to go into. Don't focus on where the spikes are. Yeah, just mash. Actually, let me tell you something. This here, once you're in the middle of this, then you can just mash the button. Mash the button. If you go too early, then you can actually go too fast. Yeah, and here, like, it's really hard to wrap your head around it at first, because sometimes because you have to like fall down here early after hitting these jump rings. And the trick to it is to hit this blue one early, because sometimes if you hit that too late, even if you hit the yellow ones as soon as you get to them, you're not gonna survive. Then you'll just plummet right into the spike here. So just hit the blue one right away and you'll be fine. Easy. And then here is the hardest part and also the most inconsistent part, which is pretty much why it's hard. Like it's so stupid. But yeah, these ball timings don't seem that hard, but they really are. And then this UFO timing is just god awful. Like you have to fall down and then jump up twice in a row as fast as you can. If you're just a little bit too slow, then you just die. But which is why it's so inconsistent, because you never know how you die if you were too slow or if you just got the timing wrong, because the timing has to be so precise also. So it's really hard to improve on that part. And then this ship portal, once you come into it, don't hold the button down before you come into the portal. You need to hold, like, steady yourself out once you transition. If you hold down the button before you come into the portal, then you'll smack right down into the ground. And yeah, here you wait a split second and go. And the way I like to do this is I look at the spike down here, because you can actually go too late and like survive at first, but then you won't be able to come out of it. And like this spike that's right here, you can't see it because of this shit. But once the spike is pointing directly at you, that's like an indicator for me to, okay, I need to go now. Here you can just mash the button, it's really nice. And yeah, this part is just horrible, and it's pointless to practice it. Like, when I practiced this for like 2 days, I didn't get better at it. Like, seriously, I did not get better at it, no matter how much I practiced it. It's just like, it's so annoying, because you're just gonna die there so many times, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go and, like, of course you have to like re-practice it to maintain your consistency. That's not even a word to use for that part, but like to maintain how to do it. But you can't get better at it, so it's just pointless to sit there and practice it for hours, because you don't get better at it. It's really fun. Doesn't it sound fun? Nope. Eric Van Wilderman, who did like also a practice run of this level, he said that you should focus on the gaps here at first. And I used that tip and it really worked for me too. So that's what I'm gonna tell to you too. I'm gonna pass on the good advice I got. Just focus on the gaps here. That's the best way to do it, and it actually really helped for me when I started doing that. At first it seems weird, but just give it a try. Like, you focus on the gap you can jump through instead of like looking at the spikes, like looking at, okay, can I jump up here without dying, and so on. Jump over here, and then, come on. Stupid checkpoint. And then a last second here, and then hold down the button, and then when you come here, come on. Yes, and then like once you get up here, just hit the button right away. Just hold down the button to jump, because sometimes if you go a little early and you're like, you want to make sure that you get over the spike, right? So you just want to wait a tiny little bit, and then boom, you die. Like, just hold down the button no matter how early you are, because you can't come up here too early. But the thing about it is that, like, you want to be late here, because to be able to like just hit this jump ring and hold down the button, you have to be like a little bit far. Like, you have to be really close to the spike. But it can kill you so easily if you try to time it when you get up here. So just hold down the button, and then if you are a little bit early, then just hit this pink orb a little bit late, just a tiny bit late, and it will be enough for you to like just hold down the button on these jumps here. And it's like, it's not that hard to read in this situation, but it's really hard to decipher where you're gonna land exactly when you come from that jump pad there. And this ball here is kind of inconsistent. It actually gets like, it gets a lot more consistent than the 66 part, but it's still like pretty inconsistent. I would rank this ball as being the second hardest part in the level. This the decoration thing here. You know, there's usually like a stick that this thing stands on. You can't see it because the background is black, but you can like imagine where it is, right? So as soon as your ball passes this stick here. And I mean, as soon as it does, then you go. And then you just keep that going. Like, that helps me a little bit to time it. I don't go before I get around here. I don't know if it makes any sense to you. Like, this is just little like tactics I have for myself, but you can try and apply them yourself and see if they work. I hope these tips help you, and I wish you the best of luck with this if you actually want to do it. I highly suggest you to just go and find another difficult timing level and do that instead.